Greetings and salutations, welcome back to our little series on Portswigger Web Security Academy segment on Path Traversal. This is going to be lab 4 and it's going to be covering traversal sequence stripped with superfluous URL-decode. Alright, so with that out of the way, Path Traversal vulnerability in the display product images, the application blocked input containing Path Traversal sequence, and it then performs a URL decode of the input before using it. Alright, so the lab, we're going to try to find etc passwd. Go and hit the lab. And I already have it loaded, so we will find an image like we have been, and it doesn't matter which one we choose. How about the spray can? Or actually, I like heights. Do this one here. So we'll open that in the new image or new tab, and it goes through. Okay, that's right. Remember, go ahead and close that, and let's go back to Burp Suite. And we have already opened the browser, so we're going to turn interception on, and then we're head back over here, and we're going to right-click, open a new tab. I didn't fast enough. Open a new tab. All right, so there it's trying to load. Perfect. And file name equals 3.jpg. So right click this and go to repeater. You guys should be experts on this by now, right? Perfect. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to go ahead and send it like we normally do. And what it's supposed to look like, you know, the content length, HTTP is 200 OK. Perfect. Anyway, so as we normally start, you know, we're going to erase the file name itself, so 3.jpg, and we're going to put, you know, etc/psswd. We're going to put our, how many was it? Like .whack, 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 .whack. What was the next one? You get like four or five of those, right? And we click send, and it's probably going to fail, right? So what this one we have to do is URL encoding. And how do we do that? Well, there's different ways. You can look up online how to do it, you know, manually. However, Burp Suite has an amazing feature. So what we're going to do is all those .whacks. Actually, I'm going to come down here and show you what happens. So you have .whack, and what happens is, I'm going to do another one down here to give you an example, is we're going to highlight this, then we right-click it, then we go to convert selection to URL, and then we click URL encode all characters, and you see it turned our .whack into this. Now if we right click this again, we could do it again but we don't need to do that, but we could. So you see how it turns our .whack into the, yeah, anyway, try it again, it changes it again. Cool, right? So for now, we're just going to get rid of all that jazz. And we are going to come up here to the .whack, all the way over. We're going to right-click these. We are going to go to that convert selection, URL encode all characters. And we're going to send it. This is a file error issue, right? So we encoded it once, but as we've learned, sometimes this stuff isn't exactly recursive, right? So what happens if we go over the entire portion again, right-click it, first selection, URL encode all characters. So now we have a giant list of characters there, but what we've done is double URL encoded. So we click send, and looky there, we now have got access to the password file. And if you look to the right here in our inspector, you can see this stuff, what we've changed it to URL encoding and stuff. Cool. Now to prove that we got it working, that we completed the lab, we'll go back to proxy, we'll turn our interceptor off, we'll come back over here, that image is loaded, and then we'll scroll back up. We'll notice how it says lab is unsolved. We'll refresh this page, and we will see the lab is now solved. Congratulations, you have solved the lab. Thank you for joining me on this. I hope you're having fun. You are learning a few things here and there. Make sure to keep updating your notes as we go. Make meaningful notes. I use Notion. Anyway, stay safe, stay secure, stay ethical, guys. Bye-bye.